Today we played this called, I think it's called Ninja Turtles. I thought it Ninja Pizza. But is that when they put Ninja Pizza and Turtles?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Yup, Ninja Pizza Turtles.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know when YouTube was exist. I think it was 1990 something when it went out, right?
Okay, team, let's make our way to the station where the newbies are blocking the tracks. Wait, can I try that again? I feel like I should be playing it cool.
Sorry, it's the news. You only get one take.
So, are you like live streaming right now, April?
You bet.
How many viewers do we have?
Just a few thousand. These are off-peak hours.
Just a few thousand, eh?
Okay, nice humble brag.
Turns out, talking turtles are totally trending. Also, I stepped up my hashtag game.
Hashtag Ninja Love.
Hashtag painful.
No, where is that?
Hey, it's your turn.
What, you're using it?
Easy mode.
You're using Donnie's?
Where am I? Can't see them. Oh, we're on the truck.
I'm gonna try my super wrap on that thing.
This is nice.
That was easy. Pretty good. Right as I'm there.
Subway?
What places we've been to don't go to Subway? I think those only places have Subway. Disney and Japan, right?
A lot of big cities do, but those are only subways we've been.
I'm in New York City.
They have subways.
Oh, that makes sense because we're in Newark.
Exactly.
Not a lot of people here.
What did you expect? There's a movie infestation, and they're bigger than rats.
Just a couple of stops and we get to see it ourselves.
You got that. There you go.
I'll get you
Easy.
Yeah,
I didn't take any damage.
So, if TCRI is calling you
Yeah, like if we grew up in one of their test tubes or whatever, would we be approved? Some of us are definitely still in media. Alright, got out.
me? What's wrong with me?
Creepy TCRI scientist law. Subject 6034556 will not stop time, but just oozes in the retries.
You go down there? Stay up top.
Are we getting pizza?
Can you imagine multiple Mikeys?
Are you kidding? That would be awesome! I would have so many best friends.
I officially regret miking you guys up.
Come on!
This bad guy.
It hurts! Hey! Come on, take it easy.
Tiny. Sorry, that's more like it.
There you go. Square.
Thanks, guys.
Cool. See ya.
Wow. Action.
Let's make this nice and clean, folks. No showing off for camera.
Tunnels! About time you showed up.
That's right. What are you doing here?
Commuting? What does it look like?
That's cool. I just didn't realize you were comfortable riding public transportation.
Best thing for this doomed planet, really.
I think what Mikey meant was, we're surprised you're okay with all the stairs.
Why? Because I'm a giant crocodile?
Your words, not ours.
Yeah, but I'm completely incognito in this leather fedora I whipped up.
Well,
Gagging over my 1940s detective realness and clear the tracks. I'm late for a scrap sale. Let's get this train moving.
Okay. Now you gotta come down.
But they when the cutscene started.
Good question.
Oh no!
Ew.
Was it his parts?
No, I just long nails.
Where did he go? He jumped out of surprise.
I wish keepers.
We'll have a second card game card out in 2 weeks from now, right?
Why, isn't it?
Yeah, July 17th.
Yeah, that's more than a month.
If we're on July 1st, that means 2 weeks, right? If we're on July 1st.
Are you in the train
Now
now?
that's a clear tunnel.
I can shine a light all the way to 96th Street.
Thanks for unsticking us, turtles. I'll knit you some nice fall sweaters.
Stand clear of the closing doors.
Oh no. I thought you retired your conductor voice when you grew out of your model train days.
Ace?
well been polite, Bob.
They didn't stand a chance.
That was easy. I didn't take any damage. At least once, like I hit once, right? This once, so Captain didn't get take damage, right? And then got hit once. If you just get damage risk, that counts, you didn't count, right? We do game damage risk, is that counts you didn't get hit?
Alright, who's gonna do the post-game interview?
Typically, that's the MVP, so I guess me. And Mikey's gonna pout if he doesn't get the attention, so go ahead, little bro.
Yeah, I'm not sure an on-screen gig for the local news is really my brand.
Maybe we do need another take. This time, more happy you see the MTA?
Why? It's not like we can ride it to high school.
By the time they lift curfew, we'll have gotten our GEDs.
Okay, but is that just a little bit, I don't know, bleak?
Just like Donnie's career prospects as a scientist, after his bogus idea that stopping the pheromone would fix everything.
True. Dude, I'd go back into my shell if I still fit.
Well, guys, what is going on? You four are usually a lot more, positive.
We're jaded, April O'Neil. We've hit rock bottom. We're embracing the gritty.
Fellas? fast.
Isn't that what human girls are attracted to? Men who are clear-eyed and stoic?
What the actual flip, Leonardo? Yeah, maybe my grandma liked Clint Eastwood. I don't know.
Take it easy, Casanova. I know we told you to release your inhibitions, but...
Wait, did you just say inhibitions?
Yeah, so?
So, isn't Cammy's whole evil plan to release mutants' inhibitions so they can rise up and take over New York or whatever?
That sounds scary.
I think I just got pheromones. Whoa, look at all that purple dust! Cammy must be using the subway ventilation system to spread the pheromone.
Dang, not only does she smell good, she's also like really smart.
Let's get out of here, now! Thanks for rushing over, Sai.
I'm not studying to become the type of doctor that makes house calls.
This is no ordinary house.
I already feel a million times better.
Just a little bit of fresh air to clear the lungs. How long will this air be safe to breathe?
Fair worry. Cammy is spreading the pheromone via the subway. It's only a matter of time before those particles waft into the sewers.
We have to keep Dad safe.
Plus, can you imagine if all of our friends went into frenemy mode at once?
That's a boss rush we aren't ready to handle.
Need to create a clean room.
Really? This actually is pretty tidy by our standards.
That stack of pizza boxes is supposed to be an ottoman.
I mean, clean room in the laboratory sense. You know all that steam rising from the grates in Times Square? That's exhaust from the underground. You can reverse that flow. Bring air into the sewers, it can create positive air pressure. There'd simply be no room for pheromone particles to squeeze their way in from the subway.
Mind blown.
Actually, there is a ventilation shaft not too far from here.
We used to play hide and seek there all the time.
Perfect. I'll go with you. See if I can reverse the flow.
My feet is cold, nigga.
Good? Yep. Okay, after this. Alright, what's next?
You remember we're taking 1.1.21. It's 12, catch a 1.
Go to the... We got 2 days for this mission, let's just play it.
Yep. We were just on it.
That's a 1-player mission, do you want to do that? Or over there, that's 2-player. Over. Right there. Yep. Maybe this mission and then a couple of the indoor missions.
What do you mean with that?
What this hunter gives us.
Oh.
You want to do that?
Not fair! Yo, being even just a squelch pheromone is kinda intense, right?
Totally. Now I understand what Bebop, Rocksteady...
Oh, this gives advice.
Can't keep your instincts in check thing. I almost bought a bitch for $2 grand. Seriously,
Right, dude.
You just fell down the street.
That's dangerous. I couldn't... How is Taylor still alive?
The time he was sleepwalking and came to tell us about all his rat girlfriends?
That's like great stuff right there.
He's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's getting like superpowers. Since you're just going down the street.
No, I'm not.
You're back. Oh my gosh, I'm going down the street. See ya. He went down the street himself.
Sorry, that's more like it.
Is that the first time we got beat in the whole game, or the second beat? I know it was second or third.
Yeah, that was pretty bad, wasn't it?
Was that second beat or third beat in this game?
I don't know. We haven't done a beat in a long time since we first played.
Yeah,
Let's go.
First time we got beat is the first episode.
Even though the vent shaft's close to our lair, we should approach from above to minimize exposure.
Bit of a long cut, but better safe than pheromone.
So, since then, after the first episode, we didn't get any beats. You know how many beats we got in the first episode? One or two. So I'm guessing this is our third or second beat that I... The reason why I was getting bees on purpose. Think so?
Why can't we go that way? Let's go back and then try again.
And you want us to get bees on purpose, think so?
There we go. This game's so weird.
Yeah, wait. 2 episodes ago. Was that glitches or 3 episodes ago?
It was 2, and it was glitches.
Making me more angry.
What's that?
Oh. Fire!
Steel. That shoots.
Shoot! I thought I was just gonna scream when I see spiders. I scare spiders.
Come on,
Are you?
take it easy.
Yeah, especially ones that read magic games.
You're strong.
Sorry,
I'm
we're
just
lucky.
keepers.
Alright, can we get into this thing real quick? We gotta go that way, but no one can go break this. No,
We said breakfast?
break this. Breakfast.
I thought you said breakfast.
No.
Bread is 11:30. It's not breakfast time, it's 11:30. Hey.
Are those kids bunny ears?
Originally designed these so we could drink Alpine Crush and keep both hands on the controller.
But saw off the bottom of the bottles, stretch over some pantyhose, got yourself a gas out.
We sip clean air through these straws.
Clever.
Pretty good.
Yeah, this.
Oh, like that? No, that's not the right way. This way. Oh, turtle head.
In the pool? Okay, in the pool.
Come up with the idea to turn the sewers into a clean room. I mean, I know you're a scientist and all, but the idea rolled off your tongue so fast.
You ever noticed when you first walk into my parents' warehouse, it smells strongly of Indian spices, but as soon as you step into my lab in the back room, the smell is gone? Positive air pressure. All of that cardamom, turmeric, and curry powder kept at bay.
I'm just glad we're not trying to seal off our living room.
Yeah, we are weirdly bad at tearing off pieces of
However, if you got more than 3 feet.
Careful of the purple stuff.
Maybe we're talking about Peter Parker.
Oh my god. See you, Leo. There you go.
I gotta jump.
So, this control panel is a bit archaic. Let's see if this combination reverses the airflow. Not quite.
I think the fan noise is attracting newbies.
You ready?
Let's buy size some time to figure out
We
the
gotta
controls.
buy the scientist guy time
I'll get you.
by beating up the newbies.
Look at if we don't, then we die.
Yeah, just like that. You went to the fan.
How's it look inside?
If fan A is set to intake lights, fan B disabled. If I enable fan C,
Sorry, guys. It's okay. We got this.
Careful.
Well, my day got blown.
He's over here. See ya.
Okay, you just said it's like I've been doing no time, but I don't know why.
You got backed up, so that.
Left.
Yeah.
Wrong way, Si! Now all the fins are set to exhaust! That's the opposite of what we want! If any mutants didn't know we were here already, they know now!
Why do you keep dying?
That hurt!
You're lucky ducky, you don't get hurt, right?
Get it.
Let's go!
Literally complete!
Hey, good stuff.
How we got an S?
Nation! Switches to the
How we
right.
got an S?
I have no idea.
That's it. All the fans are pulling in outside air.
Let's take off our helmets.
Smells like hot dogs?
It must be right underneath the street fender.
I mean, we gonna hit that, or...?
Surely some celebratory street meat is in order. We did establish the clean room after all. Well done,
We're
everybody.
still alive!
That was hard.
Yeah, the fans made it hard.
And there's no fans, that was the easy peasy cake.
Yeah.
Boys!
Like the other people say.
Yeah.
Yeah, where have you been, Dad?
We wanted to tell you it's safe to breathe the air now, but you weren't in your room.
Old men need privacy too, you know.
Fair point.
Anyway, you have to see this. Wait, what is that horrible smell?
Raw sewage?
Oh, it's teenager!
Donnie's trying to do the laundry. Control wheel doesn't lie.
I just squeezed our bandanas. What? Oh, excuse me for not ironing. I'm a little busy saving the city.
Now that the sewer has no exhaust, we're all trapped with your odor. You boys need to recommit to personal hygiene. Which, speaking of, look who's on the front page of the Manhattan Post.
Hygiene heist.
Is that security camera footage of Leatherhead making off with an armful of toilet paper?
Do you know any other giant crocodiles who wear skinny jeans? Or...
Oh no. No, she must have gotten pheromone. But how?
She was saying how much she likes to ride the subway.
Man, another frenemy? We can't catch a break.
We gotta stop her before she steals something more serious and ends up behind bars.
Let's head over to the shopping center where she boosted the toilet paper. See if anyone knows where she went. Okay, what shall I do today?
We know. Okay.
Why do I keep popping up? Because you make me suck in this game or something?
These two for now? What? Go down more. What? Never mind.
Then why was it challenges?
I don't know.
Because you think we're using fat wire.
Yes, he is. I guess let's just go out. Let's just do... glitching? Oh my gosh. Glitching. Just glitching.
Like I said, what you eating? And said, go on a walk. Did Did you want already?
I want meatballs.
Me too, you know.
Okay, no, let's not do that yet. Do you want to do that and then we'll stop for today?
Yep.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, we've been recording 30 minutes so far and we've been playing 2 hours, right? Right? Has it been 30 minutes?
Since the shopping center Leatherhead stole from is still under construction, we'll have to gain access from the rooftops.
Well, you can't go up here. That's not why you can't go up here.
We're not supposed to, we're supposed to go this way.
Let's go.
Who said that? Romano? So let's go.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome. Okay. Here, this time. Yeah.
Rap. Smash.
That's because any of his game cards, it's not called, you know? There's no Diddy card, then joke off, right?
Yeah. So it looks like.
But if it is called, how that's possible? This is a weekend, right? If it was called, how is that possible, right? They do it next Nintendo Direct to announce new games instead of this summer.
Sure, sometime this summer.
Like we would say, maybe we would say, that's like we got Christmas or Halloween.
Here in a second. You've already been here.
Oh yeah! What were you thinking?
How did... What the...
Well, we got confused. Well, we got confused, Dada.
I don't know what's over here. Nothing? Wait, we've been here too, haven't we?
Yeah! What? This is weird. If this was what?
Come back here.
A glitch up there. There's a glitch up here.
Here we go down here.
Yeah.
This is shiny.
Are we lost? That took forever.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, if we did reveal without any, people will be like, you're stupid, right?
Probably.
So now what?
Let's look for any clues.
Mikey?
Hey, Dad.
Wait, I can't see you. Let me turn my phone sideways.
It's just a voice call, Dad.
You're all there?
Yeah, this is actually a bit of an intervention.
We're extremely concerned that you're still getting your news from print newspaper.
What?
That newspaper you showed us earlier, did it have words on both sides? Because that must be very advanced technology.
Very funny. Not only is traditional newspaper informative, it also makes for excellent bedding. And if I'm so old,
Why was I the one breaking the news that your roommate is a toilet paper thief?
Well, he's not wrong.
If Ninja Turtles and we come out at the same time, right? Which we go first?
Sounds like something Leatherhead.
Kirby?
Certainly a fundamental survival tool.
Alright, let's follow the trail.
Alright, follow toilet paper. Oh,
So down here?
yeah.
This is nice.
Take it easy.
Well, I mean, now we're walking. We're not being stupid anymore, right?
Made it.
Look, there's a giant hole in the ground.
Something tells me that's not construction related.
Why do I feel like Leatherhead never returned that jackhammer?
She must have drilled in from underneath, stolen the toilet paper, then escaped back through the hole.
And in the process, she created a portal for newbies to flood the shopping center. Let's handle these guys and see what's at the bottom. Come on!
A bunch of them.
What's that all about with the circle button?
Circle gets you up faster.
You guys ready?
Cowabunga!
Sorry, stop me!
Oh, what's going on? That in the dark? Is that a dark portal?
So just a hole.
Let's go!
We're in a subway tunnel.
Let's mop up these newbies fast before we inhale too much pheromone.
Or get hit by an oncoming train, you know, whichever.
Can't go that way. We gotta walk up here. Okay.
What? But unfortunately, I can't get out of it.
I just keep
Why was over there? It hitting nothing.
At all.
There's so much noise. Train is loud. The train is that loud in real life.
Yeah.
time to move.
Yeah, we gotta be careful here. Right across this one. Wait. You're the one who got track. There you go. There you go. Run past both.
That train is broken.
Yeah, that's great. It's going anywhere.
Is that train is broken? Now is it quiet now?
Yeah, except you're just jumping here too.
No, that was
You're
you.
killing me.
Back!
Come on. Jump across.
Come on, more angry! This is nice.
I thought that was B for a second. Right after, what is one big worse than S? Is it A or B? Is it S then? S is for best, but is it B? Next?
S, then A, then B.
Why is it, that's not alphabet in real life?
No, that's how video games do it.
Not there! Smash!
Spider-Man! My wish would come true if Captain Hulk Smash will be a Spider-Man movie, Dana. I wonder what happens if it came up. Would it be easier or Hulk or more inspired? Will make a fake worse? I think you're Hulk.
No, too.
It's your turn.
Mixing pizza.
Easy mode.
Where's the pizza?
Right here. See it? Oh my gosh.
Hey! Come on, take it easy. Hey!
We're gonna die from me, this stupid thing.
Electricity. You keep going the electricity. See? Can't jump over it.
That's the last of the movies.
And zero sign of Leatherhead.
Please don't be
It's like she
doing
dropped a
it.
few rolls.
But the toilet paper trail goes cold.
Now what?
We need to keep a closer eye on the news. Maybe if we get to the next crime scene faster, we can catch Leatherhead in the act.
Anyone else starting to get that pheromone tingle? Let's head to the surface before we get into another family feud. That was
Time
cool.
for some pizza.
I feel like a die. No. You knew that was the end of the mission?
I didn't, but it was very close.
Try for you to make meatballs if you could, right?
I'll check into it.
But they make meatballs yesterday, but I don't know, we used to have some before you make some. We used to have some.
Besides, what would it take to develop a cure?
Now that the pheromone is airborne, it's kind of our only move.
We can't play whack-a-mole sabotaging the HVAC at every single subway station. No offense to the actual mole, newbies.
You're proposing we create some kind of antidote to revert mutants from an agitated state?
Aren't everyone cool that I'm filming this?
That'd be helpful if we win a Nobel Prize. That was a joke. I actually did prototype some pheromone antibodies, but none have been effective. The issue is any sample I use has been degraded from its source.
So what? You need Cammy?
Just a handful of her scales would likely do the trick.
I mean, if we had any idea where she is, maybe.
Wait, we don't need to know where Cammy is. We only need to know where she's been.
Why do I feel like we're about to get another nature documentary knowledge drop?
Chameleon's molt. We just need to find some of Cammy's sloughed off skin.
So we go back to the water treatment plant, see if she's settling there.
That's a promising idea. It just might work.
Don't ham it up for camera, Si.
Okay, fellas, once more onto the breach.
You know it.
Why do you say it like that? You sound like a woman. Does he? Is that part of the game? Why it says oh and
Okay.
Yeah.
New base.
what's that supposed to be? That means on news or something?
Yeah, I think so. Alright everyone, thanks for watching. We'll see you in a few days.